Okay, I uh, I don't know where to start. Okay, I'm going to alter my voice and darken this because although I'm not a star, I'm a working actor. So out here in Hollywood, California. So uh, some of you out there may know me, and, and to some I might look familiar. So I'm gonna cover my face. Anyway, I've been out here for quite a number of years, and I've had some strange experiences. Recently, I got a television that was connected to the internet, and I started to watch a lot of YouTube, and I started to see all these creepypasta stories and people talking about strange occurrences. I didn't even know there was this world out there. Uh, for some reason, I've had some odd things happen to me out here. I mean, I don't know what it is. I come from a family that was very open to certain things. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, right now, this has actually been, bothering me again. I remember some of these things and they bother me. Uh, we'll call this incident Ben's audition. So, out of the blue, I got a call on my personal cell phone about an audition. Now, it wasn't from my agent. There was a woman on the other line, and she had what I took to be a Russian accent. It could have been Eastern European, Polish, something like that. But it was definitely that side of Europe type of accent. And she was scheduling a an audition for me for a film. She said that the director liked my work and that he wanted me to read for the lead. And could I come in? It was a union project and everything else, so it was one of those days, and I knew my agent was on vacation, and I could have called it in or called to the assistant or something and get back, but I just somehow they got my phone number. I didn't ask why. I assumed maybe they knew somebody that I knew and everything else. I mean, you want to be polite, and when you're in my business, let's face it, you're looking for work all the time, and uh, I'm usually not in the position that I'm going to be turning down work, especially if it's a lead in a film. At least give it a shot, give it a chance. So she scheduled the appointment, and it was for the next day. She said there were no sides available. Sides are what we call scripts in this business. That a portion of the script that you'll use for an audition. So I showed up, and it. I'm not going to name the place, but if you're out here in Los Angeles, you may be familiar with a certain retro style motel slash inn in the East Valley. I mean, it has a certain motif, pretty famous. Anyway, I don't want to implicate them in this story. They're just the motel, the motel where they were at. So I thought it was strange. I got the address. I didn't realize it was a motel. This kind of well-known motel until I got close. I was kind of happy because there was plenty of parking inside, in the parking lot. So parking can be a problem out here. So anyway, I went to the room. Uh, I'm not even going to say that. I was about to say the room number. I don't want to say the room number because then if I say the room number, everybody's going to be camping out in the room. It was on the second floor in the corner. So I go up the stairwell and I knock on the door and I'm greeted by kind of a burly, balding, again, very Eastern European guy. And if you know that Eastern European look, you know what I'm talking about. So before he even opened up his mouth, I thought Eastern European. And sure enough, he had a very thick, and this time I thought it was a Russian accent. He knew my name, hello, Paul, and thanks for coming. I said, well, thanks for having me. And then, you know, he told me his name. He says, I am Ben Ben. I said, Ben? Ben Ben. So I said, Ben, is your first name? Yeah, Ben Ben. It's my full name. Ben Ben. So I didn't want to get into I didn't want to get into an argument of, not an argument, but I didn't want to, I'm there for a job. I don't want to cross-examine him. That's your name? Ben Ben? Ben Ben's your name? So, I don't know, it got a weird feel. When somebody gives you a name like that, it just gives you I don't know, I knew it wasn't his name. I can't explain. I mean, yes, the guy sounded a little like Dracula, but I knew it wasn't his name. But I also kind of had a feeling that even though it wasn't his name, it meant something to him. It wasn't just like a guy would say, "Yeah, my name is John Smith." When he doesn't want you to know his name. No, this was different. He had a connection to Ben Ben. Weirdest thing. Anyway, it was a little room, two double beds. I'm always confused. Double bed. Yeah, it's smaller than a queen size bed. Two double beds, and he was connect. So I went in there, and he had papers on the desk and everything else, and he said, "Come on, let's try some things." So I went over to the other side of the room and opened the door. It was joined to the other. Obviously, it rented two rooms. It was one of those, rooms where you had the double doors. He opened the door, and the other door was already open, so he could go in. And eh, I I don't know why I didn't immediately leave. I don't know why. Even to this day, I can't. I suspect, I have this strong work ethic, and it's about a job and everything else. But anyway, I walked in there. It was dark. All of the shades were drawn. The other room, the shades were, half open, so there was some light coming in. It was late afternoon, but this other room, the shades were completely drawn. It was very dark. There was no other lights on, so the only light that was coming in was around the blinds and everything else. It was very dark. It had like sort of a dark, amber, brown feel to the room. And I have to say that there was a smell. It was like a very strong body odor smell. And, and then I looked up, and in the corner of the room, there was a blonde woman. She was probably about 30 years old. And she was sitting in the desk chair. They had pulled each room, they have these desks. Every room's got a desk with a chair. They had pulled this chair. This room also had two double beds. They had pulled this chair into the corner of the room. On the far corner, as I come in from, the door, the side entrance, she was at the farthest corner from that door, sitting in the corner. And like I said, the room was dark, had the dark amber brown feel, and there was a smell, a body odor smell in the room. Heavy sweat. And there was an undertone of fear. I mean, I have a dog, and he's kind of a scaredy cat, and he'll easily get spooked. And when a dog gets spooked, they get a little odor, they get that extra little animal odor. It was kind of like that. There was that underpinning. It was like there was another level of the scent beyond just if someone was at the gym or playing football all day and didn't wear deodorant. There was something else. I guess the best way to describe it was the smell of fear. But it was worse than that. It was fear. It was worse than it was worse than fear. I mean, it smelled, it felt bad. The smell felt bad. So I walked in. He's behind me. I felt weird. He goes over. He sits on the bed closest to the door we just came in. The entrance from the other room. He pulls out a binder and he says, "I'm going to give you some lines. And I want you to tell the lines to Magda." And so now I know the name of the woman in the corner. It's Magda. So I tried to be pleasant. I said, talk to my fellow actor. I said, "Hello, Magda." And I mean, she barely registered me. She was sort of looking down and ahead. And so, I was about to repeat myself, and Ben said, "Magda, Paul said hello. Be polite." And then she raised her head, turned to me, and said, "Hello." And the way she said hello, it was really, I mean, I just felt bad for her, and I just wanted to, but again, I'm an actor, she's an actor, she may be in character, she super method, anything can be the case at this point, anything can be the case. So, I walk over, and Ben says, "Okay, I'm going to give you some lines. I want you to talk to Magda. I want you, you know, Magda has been worried about her family because they are in peril." And that's what he said. He said, "in peril," which I thought was weird. It's kind of like turn of the century language. But he says, "Magda's worried about her family because they're in peril. And you just came back from the wars. And you are going to comfort Magda. Okay, so Magda's family's in peril. I just got back from the wars, and I'm going to comfort Magda. That's the scene. Okay, all right. So I say, okay, Ben, are there some particular lines you want me to say when I come in? He said, no, I want you to improvise, and I want Magda to respond appropriately. And I was like, you know, thinking that's weird. I'm improvising, and then the logical step is that Magda's going to be improvising as well. But he says, no, she's going to reply appropriately. Again, weird. It's like family in peril. Apply appropriately. So I walk over, and again, it's weird because there's probably she's in the corner in the desk chair. I'm walking on the other side of the bed. It's in the far bed. Maybe there's 3.5, 4 feet between the bed and the wall. I mean, it's like a little hallway between the bed and the wall. And I'm in there, I'm coming back from the wars, and I asked, when you mean wars, are we talking, is this a contemporary war? Are we talking World War II? Are we talking, and he's, no, it's very generic. It's the world that this film takes place in is every world and all worlds. It's a moral tale. It's a tale of power. It's a tale of choice. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, again, I've been in this business a long time. I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting some auteur speak here. So I get it. It's a general world. Okay. So we're looking, it's a universal story. So I'm a warrior coming back. I get it. I get it. So anyway, I awkwardly, I'm there, woman's there, and I get a good look at her for the first time. Now I'm facing her. She's up looking at me. And that's when I see bruise marks, what look like yellow, brown, purplish bruise marks on the sides of her neck. I mean, it's, they looked real. I mean, I'm very familiar with makeup. I've been around makeup artists my entire career. I know what they can do. And there was no makeup artist on the premises. And the combination of the smell, which now was stronger because I was closer to her, and the bruises on her neck just gave me this feeling that I had to get out of there. Anyway, I did the scene. I went through, Magda, I'm home, you know, my darling, this type of stuff. I went over to her and I reached out to her to comfort her. And it was as if she was frozen. She looked up at me with such pleading, such anguish. I I mean, I couldn't speak, and Ben all of a sudden from behind me just snaps at Magda. Says, respond to him, you bitch. Respond, you bitch. Respond. Respond. And, and she looked up at me again. She tried to open her mouth. And that was it. I just say, oh, nice to meet you, Magda. Ben, nice to meet you. I don't think this is going to work out. And then I left. I left. So, I mean, this is just, I'm thinking of the bruises on her neck. I'm thinking of the look of fear, the smell in that room. I'm just thinking something terrible is going on here. There's something terrible. And I get probably 3 blocks away. And then I check Google Maps for the closest police station. I go right to the police station and I talk to the desk sergeant and I tell her what happened. And I say, listen, you got to go check this out. I mean, they asked me if there was a gun. I said, I didn't see a gun, but then I knew I'd always heard that if there's a gun, they come right away. And I said, there might have been a gun. There might have been I just wanted them there, right? So, uh, so I gave them the address. I told them the room, and I mean, literally, they were in a car heading over there, probably within 5 minutes. And they went over there. I followed the police car over there. They pulled in. I followed the police car. Maybe, let's see, I'll try and think when I left there. Maybe it was 5:20 when I left that room. We were not, I mean, it couldn't have been longer. The latest we were back there was 5:30. The latest. The latest. From me leaving, finding the police station, which was close. I was probably a couple blocks away. Back 5:30, 5:35 max, but probably 5:30. Could have even been earlier. So we're there. Go, see the police go up. They get out of the car. They tell me to wait. Because, of course, I'm going in there, because I played cops, so I think, I can. They told me to wait back. So they went up. I went up the stairs. They went to the corner room. They knocked on the door. The other cop I saw, because they were up on on the second level there, you could see the walkway. Went to the other room because I told them there was 2 rooms, so they were covering both doors, and there was no way they're getting out on the second floor out of a bathroom window or something. And I knock on the door. There's no answer. They knock again, no answer. And I see one of the cops, younger guy that's on the second door, goes down to the front desk. About I don't know, 2 minutes later, he comes back up with the manager. Manager opens the door of the room and steps aside, and then both cops go in, and an Overwatch position. One goes in, just like the movies. I've seen it a million times. And they go in, and, you know, seconds, a minute later, they're out. Nobody's there. Nothing. At this point, I approach, I go up the stairs. I say, nobody's here. They're gone. They're packed up and gone. And, and that was it. I mean, man, that was a very, very strange day in Hollywood. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Magda.